Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is the Battle Blaster coming at you. I was on TikTok and I saw this young lady's post. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the part of the video and I'm going to give you my commentary on this. Check it out.
Black people did not invent hip-hop. You know how hip-hop came to be? Hip-hop started because this Jewish kid was trying to do a documentary.
Yo, back at you. Now, you just heard what I was just trying to let you guys listen to. This piece of shit ass, I don't know if he's an Italian or a Jewish dude or whatever, but you see how they try to co-opt everything we do. They co-opt rock and roll. They co-opt a little bit of the jazz and the blues because they felt they can do it. They feel like they're the masters of it. Now, again, like somebody said 20, 30 years ago, that they're going to try to take over hip-hop and say they created, which is so funny because that's what they're doing now. They're trying to say that they have created hip-hop, just like they try to sit here and try to say the Asians people created breakdancing. There was no Asian folks breakdancing, people. Get that out your fucking brain. There was no Jewish kid out here rapping besides the Beastie Boys who came up in the mid 80s, and they came on because people like Rick Rubin felt that rap needed some white faces in it to make it help it to grow, which is bullshit. Rap was gonna grow with or without the Beastie Boys. So let's cut into this real quick. People like that idiot right there, he knows the truth. He's just trying to throw something out so he can try to make it stick. There's a book I own. It's called The History of Hip Hop. Now, Puff Daddy made this book. It's a very very rare book. It is huge and it's very heavy. I have this book and a partner of mine have this book. And I'd like to thank him for ordering me that book as well, because that book at one time, it cost almost $200 for that book when it was new. And we actually got that book for $50. I believe it was like $50 or $40 a piece. It was something like $25. It wasn't that much, but it was damn near less than the price of what it was when it was brand new. And if I could show you that book, you would be amazed. That book is like, it's a coffee table book, but it's the size of a coffee table. Think about it. So it tells you the roots of hip hop. See, let me tell you something how hip hop really came to be. Hip hop was always a party jam. See, when the brothers would play basketball all day long and you know, things would get like, it would get dark in it starts to get dark in the, you know, in the neighborhood. The young brothers in the South Bronx used to turn around and get they DJ equipment. They would plug in to get the energy. They would plug into, you know, hardwire it straight to the through the streets. You know what I mean? They would plug it into the like if you ever go like out in New York, they have these little circuits that you could, like, you could just pop them up out of the street, and you can actually use the power from the circuits that's still down in the street. It's strange. I forgot how you put it, but it's like circuit breakers they have, and they used to click into those. They would run their power through there, so they would get these speakers and everything, and the brothers would throw these like block parties. And then a brother would come on, he would MC. You know, and I'm gonna tell you where MCing come from also, because this is where people get it all wrong at. You thought they were just BSing. No, rapping was something that my uncle and them were into. Dolomite and those types of people were doing. All right, they were rhyming, and that was something that you did to a chick also. It's like saying, "Hey, pretty baby, give me some time, just 5 minutes so I can blow your mind. Come over here and be my doll. I give you everything if you give me them draws." You know what I mean? I hate to put it like that, but that's how it was a little bit more, smoother than that. But that's how they did things. It's like if you don't know who Pigmeat Markham is, look up Pigmeat Markham. If anybody's old enough to understand Laughing, and Laughing was a television show. It was like a variety television show, a comedy sketch variety television show back in the 70s and late 60s, early 70s, early mid 70s. And Pigmeat Markham used to have a little skit. Here come the judge, here come the judge, here come the judge, here come the judge. And he had a rhyme for that. If you go onto YouTube and you look up Pigmeat Markham, here comes the judge. Now, mind you, this is back in the 60s. He had a record called Here Comes the Judge. It was such a hit. Laughing brought him on there to be the judge. You know what I mean? To do his skit. Okay? And later on, Sammy Davis Jr. and other blacks would, here come the judge, here come the judge. That was like a little skit they would do. And Pigmeat Markham would rhyme, like, here I come, I'm the judge. I ain't gonna give nobody the run. Whatever he said, he rhymed. You know what I mean? So if you think about that, that even go back further than that. It goes back to Scatman Carruthers. You know what I mean? Those guys, you know what I mean? It goes back to them dudes. Scatman Carruthers, if you don't know who Scatman is, look him up. Look up Scatman Carruthers. If any of you know or remember the television cartoon show Transformers, Scatman Carruthers was the voice of Jazz. The one said, "Hey up, Miss Prime. We gotta find these guys over here." You could tell it was a black brother. And if you remember, if you're from the 80s, you remember a television, not television show, excuse me. It was a movie called Zapped with Scott Baio. Scatman Carruthers played the coach. "Mr. Einstein, I got a lot of shit on my mind. My old lady said I can't handle salami." You know what I mean? So you think about that. Even he was rhyming back then. You know what I mean? So you think about it. These guys were rhyming back in the 40s. Rhyming goes back a long way. And the young lady said something, which I'm going to tell you something. It didn't come from the Caribbeans. It came right from over here. The Caribbeans heard it, and they started doing it. And that was during the time of Pigmeat Markham. And then during the time of Dolomite. Because Dolomite took it, and he made it, popular. And don't get me wrong, that's what them young kids from the 70s was doing. They were taking it because of people like Dolomite. And then you, like I said, you got Cool Herc, and you do have Africa Bambaataa and all those guys coming to play, who came in and made it to what it is today. They made the beginnings of it in its humble stages. So, you know what I mean? If you really start researching our history, black people have done so much in this country. Like I said, I talked about the music industry already before on this page. We created rock and roll. Rock and roll was just simply called R&B, rhythm and blues. And the reason why, and if you look at it, Big Mama Thornton and people like her, they were the first rock and roll stars. Then what's his name, Chuck Berry showed up, and right on his heels they had to have a white man to to take over some of this. I ain't gonna say take over some of it, but take on the mantle of rock and roll and as the face of rock and roll, because white people had the power and, you know what I mean. So they came up and they pushed Elvis Presley in the face of people. Him gyrating his hips, doing some crazy dance, look like he having a heart attack and he got MS or something. So and trying to say this is how black people was dancing. Elvis was just like the Eminem of his day. Eminem is a individual who has made a career out of rap for himself. You know what I mean? And has something always bad to say about black women, talking about they ugly and they stink and white girls are prettier and they cleaner and all this shit. So like I said, when he had this video called, I don't know what the name of it, but it was like, I don't give a fuck. They sitting around, a bunch of white people sitting around eating watermelon, spitting watermelon seeds out, and he talking about how his family is rednecks and all that. It was funny, but at the same time, just the mere visuals of it made me cringe, because it didn't make me sit. It didn't sit right with me, because rap is a black art form, and then you're gonna tie the watermelon seeds. I mean, eating the watermelon on the porch as this is what black people do. Type of messaging. A lot of people might not see it as that, but it's very subliminal and it's very in your face if you know what to look for. But again, let's go back to rock and roll. Rock and roll was made by us, co-opted by white people. Jerry Lee Lewis and his molesting his own cousin ass came right behind Little Richard, because Little Richard was dominating the charts, and not only was he dominating the charts, people was listening to him of all walks of life, like white people normally do. You always listen to what we create and what we making, and then you try to take it from us. And I'll tell you one art form y'all really, well, two basically, but one really that you have never gotten a chance to take. Y'all tried y'all best, but it never worked. Like I said, after y'all got a hold the rock and roll and whitewash the hell out of rock and roll, you came after blues, you came after jazz, and y'all still trying to whitewash the hell out of that. Y'all doing a good job at it, believe it or not. Then funk showed up on the scene back in the 70s when James Brown came out. He had I forgot the name of the gentleman who is a white gentleman. If you look up James Brown impersonators, white James Brown impersonators, you'll see him. He's got like a big ass bouffant blonde hairdo, and he wanted to be the next James Brown. So as you can see, they try their best to even outdo the Godfather of Soul. I forgot the name of that guy name, whatever the hell he is. What's his name? But the funk, music-wise, white people have tried their best. You may have came close, but they have never got funky enough to take funk to another area. When we did disco, they were right there taking over disco. You had the Bee Gees. They were the hottest ticket on the disco charts, next to Donna Summer and Barry White and people like that. You know, they, like I said, Barry White wasn't just a disco artist; he was just an R&B artist, but he made a lot of disco music too. So think about that. Then in the 70s, like I said, late 70s, Sugar Hill Gang came out with Rapper's Delight. It took the world by storm. So if this so-called Jewish kid was he created rap. When did he create it? Because rap has gone back longer, way longer than what y'all think it has. And then turn around, you trying to fucking say that y'all created. Man, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Only thing y'all created was wars. Wars is slavery and murder and genocide. That's the only thing y'all create. Y'all create death. You can't create life. You create death. And y'all need to kill yourselves, because maybe that's what y'all really fucking need. Y'all need to fucking die off and let the humans fucking live on this planet by ourselves and in peace. But anyway, I'm gonna close this off right now because my rant is up. But just remember, white people ain't had nothing to do with hip hop besides trying to take it over now, and they pushed it into the mainstream to do goofy shit. There's a video of a girl named Kesha. I don't even know if I can find her video, but the young lady,
and people that think like you lie.
The young lady, her name, this young woman, her name it's actually Kesha. Kesha is the young lady's name. And if I found her, I would play her video for you, and she looks like a fucking dope. And I mean, I can't find her video. If I found her video, you guys would laugh at her. She looks stupid trying to bounce and dance like us. You know what I mean? But anyway, just to let y'all guys say what I'm about to say to y'all is Jews didn't create hip hop. They ripped it off by trying to give us contracts and telling us we shouldn't talk about issues of the day anymore, and we should stick to talking about murder, death, kill, and drugs, and how to kill each other in our neighborhoods. That's the only thing Jewish people did with rap. And we've been stupid, and we have been obliging them ever since for a fucking paycheck. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here right now. But I wish my partner was on here. We could have talked more about it, because like I said, he's a big hip-hop head, and he's been a hip-hop head since we was little boys. When rap first started coming out, like breaking the mold and coming out the streets. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. This is the Battle Blast. I'm about to say sayonara, and I'll say I'm out. Peace.